Hello and welcome to another Game Nexus video. Today we're going to be taking a look at Outlaw Golf 9 Holes of XMas, or Christmas if you will. Now, to get rid of a little bit of confusion, Outlaw Golf 9 Holes of Christmas and Outlaw Holiday Golf are the exact same game. 9 Holes of Christmas is the Blockbuster exclusive version, but apparently Holiday Golf is the version they sold like in Toys R Us and some of the other stores like that. So, if you're collecting, unless you really just want them, you're basically getting the same game. But then 9 more Holes of Christmas, which is what I'll be showing in the next video, is a completely different game.
Here we are at the first. This par 5, 500-yard hole should be designated a war crime. Whoever designed it should be hauled before a tribunal in The Hague and placed in a glass booth. Ouch! Look at that approach! Now I understand the death penalty.
Okay, basically what you have here is they took the game Outlaw Golf and they added in a holiday theme, or a winter theme if you will. The original Outlaw Golf was actually released on Xbox and GameCube in the year 2002. You had the North American Xbox release on July 10th of 2002, followed by the PAL release on November 29th of 2002. But then it wasn't until October 29th, 2002 in North America and June 24th of 2003 in Europe that you got the GameCube releases. Then for some reason they decided to release it on Windows platforms on September 30th, 2003 in North America and December 5th, 2003 in PAL regions. I can honestly tell you, I really didn't even realize that this was released on Windows.
Definitely is not for the weak of heart.
And now if you're watching this video right now, you're probably saying how badly I suck. I'll admit it. I'm not great at golf games. I'm not great at golf. One thing I ever had all that much fun with when it came to golf was miniature golf, because I always thought that was a pretty fun thing to play. Now this game is up to 4 players for the original Outlaw Golf, but the version you have here, the Outlaw 9 Holes of Christmas, is only a 2-player experience.
We're here at the second. Welcome to my second nightmare. Par 4, 390 yards. It's got an overhang you gotta get under, and that is why I call this hole the limbo. I once did the limbo down in Jamaica. Didn't end well. Involved some chicken blood and a lot of screaming.
I figure I'll just let you hear what the commentator has to say about all the holes. That's really the only meaningful thing he ever says. Whereas the rest of the stuff, especially when he criticizes you for playing this fairly hard to play golf game, just honestly gets grating and annoying after a while. Especially when you just want to try to get it to go the right way, but he's like, "Oh, why did you do this?" Oh, and apparently the commentator here is Steve Carell, which is another thing I didn't realize, because I can honestly say when it came to the Outlaw games, my first experience really was Outlaw Volleyball, because at the time when I played Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball, the Outlaw version got more known because a lot of the people in the Xbox community were like, "Oh wow, they released a version for a different company released kind of their own kind of volleyball game to make it really cool."
To ward off further embarrassment and make bogey.
And you notice the announcer says stuff like that. He's just saying how you're doing all this stuff and how you're trying to ward off all this embarrassment. But I can honestly say I wouldn't really be embarrassed, but I wouldn't be on.
3 is a par 3, 250 yards, a little dipsy doodle, but don't let it fool you. It's a kick in the coin purse. You gotta land on the plank and you got nobody to thank, but I'm just trying to rhyme at this point.
What I was gonna say is I wouldn't be on like a televised program playing golf, because I've honestly never played like real golf. I've only played miniature. The strange thing is the Outlaw Golf series actually didn't make it onto PlayStation 2 platforms until Outlaw Golf 2. As Outlaw Golf 1, as I had mentioned earlier, didn't even get a PlayStation 2 release. And of course you had some other Outlaw game releases other than the golf here. So you had like your Outlaw Volleyball, as I had mentioned. Of course there's eventually Outlaw Golf 2, and then there was Outlaw Tennis. I know they also did release a version of Outlaw Volleyball for PS2, which was not a PS2 game. They had some kind of subtitle on it.
We're at the fort.
Yeah, it was Outlaw Volleyball Remixed for the PS2, which had 2 new courts and a handful of additional player costumes, accessories, and other stuff.
95-yard par 5. Overhead you see the rails for the mining carts. Carts? Carts or cars? They're saying cars here. Well, fine, I guess I don't know what I'm talking about. I only grew up in West Virginia with Welsh parents.
And of course, in Outlaw Volleyball, you had a return of Steve Carell as the announcer. It was Outlaw Golf 2, which you had, I believe, is Dave Attell as the announcer.
Is going to have to swat a little sand on this next shot.
Now I have to give them credit when it comes to these games that you really got your, like a more niche sport, and it kind of has more of a mainstream appeal because of how this was done. But I could go as far as saying I probably played a better game of golf one time when I played the Nintendo golf game. I think I played it over a friend's house at one time who had like the 4-player adapter, but of course there wasn't 4 of us to play it, but I thought that was really cool at the time. I was like, oh wow, you could plug 4 controllers into a game console? That's gotta be the coolest thing ever. You're never gonna be able to do that. And then of course there was consoles where they actually had 4 controller ports. Well, you definitely gotta love these winter courses, and you have like all your elf people as the commentator, as the fans, instead of just regular people.
Wow, that ball is really cooking.
And of course another one that was similar to this when it came to Outlaw Volleyball was Outlaw Volleyball Red Hot, which is another one that I just happen to own, which was once again a Blockbuster exclusive, but they didn't go as far as to release any like Toys R Us or other retailer version of it. So if you didn't get it at Blockbuster, or if you weren't lucky enough, I think I found it at like an EB, or it may have been my local used game store, I'm not really sure, but I was lucky enough to find that one. But I'm just glad I found out that Outlaw Holiday Golf was the same as this game exactly. A lot of time I would just hit the gimme because honestly, I just wanted to get done with the hole. Oh, I didn't notice before. If you rewind the video a little bit, you'll see Santa Claus going across the top.
For this par 3 at 180 yards, here's a helpful hint. If you miss the green, you'll want to bring some scuba gear and a last will and testament. You also might want to figure out how to get to the green. A helicopter or a linear accelerating launch pad? I don't know. I'm not a scientist. I just like to play golf on glaciers.
Second shot.
And I had noticed during that flyover of the course, there actually was Santa Claus flying around as well. And the way it describes this character, Harley, is she is a biker with a good swing. That's what they describe her character as. And another thing is I took a lot of mulligans and stuff, which, upon editing this video, which I had like a long half-an-hour clip, and it edited down to like 18 minutes, which took me forever to do because editing out all the mulligans took forever. I don't realize why I even did that because I'm not exactly going to do great at this or anything.
Oh, my song is writing up.
We're at the 6th. At 635 yards, this next hole is, of course, a par 4. Par 4? Oh yeah, par 4, because it's all downhill, ladies and gentlemen. It's a ski slope the rest of the season, and you get about 150 yards a roll if you just fart on the ball. Of course, at the bottom, your sand trap's in the shape of a C, and C, of course, stands for... crap, I should have taken up tennis.
And I definitely have to say, now after reading that, Steve Carell provided the voice as the announcer. It doesn't really sound all that much like him. He sounds kind of different. Although I wouldn't doubt Steve Carell fans would probably tell me, yeah, that definitely sounds like him. But all the characters in the Outlaw series are all these, like, crazy characters, like you have Suki the Dominatrix, Killer Miller, an inmate with a hobby, Harvest, a violent hippie, Trixie, a pampered socialite, Clem, an inbred redneck, Donna, a DJ, a New Jersey disco clubber, and then there's El Suave, a man's man with great hair. Of course, there's Harley, a biker with a good swing, Ice Tray, a failed rapper, and Summer, a scientist/stripper. And I know I mentioned it earlier, but I'm going to go ahead and mention it again, but a lot of these holes, I don't know if it's like this in the real Outlaw Golf, but I can honestly say a lot of these holes just seemed really hard. In fact, you'll see a lot more of that in the extra video, the second video, because 2 of the holes I went over 14 strokes, which like automatically you're over your stroke limit. So the hole just ended like that. But I seriously didn't realize like how many mulligans I had taken, and sometimes I'd be putting like. I figured Happy Gilmore had an easier time putting than I did in this game. And I don't know if it's this gameplay or the other one, but one of them I got like, it was either a birdie or par. And it was like one of those shots that I chipped it up like that, and it went right in the hole, and I was like, seriously? And one thing I definitely have to say is the force that it tells you to use on putting is never right. Always putt harder than the game tells you to, because they're wrong.
Oh, why didn't my father love me growing up? We're here at the 7th.
Up next, a par 5 at 335 yards. I know that sounds short, but if I could take a moment for me right now. I had a dream last night, and this may not be the appropriate place to share all the details, but suffice it to say it involved a boatload of sailors, candle wax, and the pull cord from a lawnmower. And there's the green.
And as soon as I heard him say sailors, I immediately thought of Shenmue, that part of the game where you have to be Ryu Hazuki and look where sailors are hanging out. Now, another thing I was going to mention is, when you see the scoreboard there, what would happen is the game would just sit there for maybe about a minute or so, and then finally get to the next hole. So all those load breaks I cut out, and the load break from the menu to the game I cut out, because that was about, I think that was about a minute and a half to 2 minutes loading off the disc. As I hadn't hard drive loaded these, I just popped the discs in. So I figured, when am I going to really play these again?
Third shot.
Maybe I'll try to get more into the regular Outlaw Golf and the Outlaw Golf 2, because maybe they like fixed everything so it doesn't feel like putting is like such a chore anymore. But that'll probably be in some later video if I choose to do it, but I probably have some other stuff I'm going to do way before that.
There you go.
Oh, and another thing I didn't really realize that you could do, because I noticed the fight token added thing popping up on the screen, and I had no idea how to do it. And then in my second gameplay in 9 More Holes of XMas, I actually figured out, by accident mind you, that it was Y. I'm guessing on PlayStation 2 it would be triangle to do the fight. And that like raises your like mood bar that shows up every once in a while, which I can honestly tell you, I have no idea how that affects the game. It probably makes your golfer like shoot like more straight or something. And I remember when I did that shot right there, I was like, I am just happy that I got out of the sand, that's all.
It takes some really soft hands to hit the ball that softly.
And if you see Summer's caddy, he's that older guy, and he's just a, he looks like a big elf guy.
Sadly, that putt is going to
and that was another gimme, because I figured I just wanted to end this.
Come here! Hey, get back here, you chicken bastard!
Here we are at the 8th.
All right, this next hole we call the pipeline, because it's got pipes on it. Not the most inventive name, admittedly. Seemed better in the meeting. Now that I'm out here, it just seems, well, pretty obvious. Too late, too late. It's already printed on all the literature. And there's the green. 460 yards, par 4. Enjoy.
I could honestly say, when I first played this course, I was worried about those pipes, thinking my ball just hit them, but if you see from this footage, I had absolutely no problem whatsoever, as my ball always sailed right over the pipes and never had any problem. Right there, I was just happy that I got over the pipe and I didn't have any problems. But a lot of the hazards in this course, as I said, you'll see in the next video of this two-part series here in 9 more Holes of Christmas. There was actually 2 things where I couldn't even get to the green because it kept going in the water or something silly like that because they made the green on an island.
There you go.
And if I remember right, in Outlaw Volleyball, when you did the fight tokens, you actually fought with your partner, since of course, since it's not a golf game, you didn't have a caddy.
Oh, that'll work. Fifth shot, they don't get any tougher than this.
Yeah, all the people definitely also sound elfy in this. You can hear them going, oh, 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 yeah. Making all weird noises like that. It's kind of funny.
Score a double bogey.
And of course, the only reason I know what any of the golf names are is because of games like this, or even that NES golf game.
Just to escape without a total disaster. Wow, you can say that's a great putt for coming so close, but I won't.
And there was another gimme, of course, because I was so close it probably would have sailed into oblivion if I actually had hit it.
We're here at the 9th. Finally, we come to the par 4, 395-yard hole I like to call Temptation Islands. Because just like everybody on that show, you'll be hoping to get something in a hole. Do I have to keep talking? Because that was the joke. Not a great joke, but it's all I got. There's the thing.
Now this was another hole that I was looking at, and I was like, yeah, there's no way I'm going to land on the islands. It's going to go right in the water. But luckily, I don't think I really had the problem here. So it ended up being a rather quick hole. As if you're watching this now, you'll probably notice there's only a few minutes to go in this video.
That's gonna make you feel good about your golf game. Second shot.
And I know when it came to the composure in the Outlaw Volleyball game, your partner would like kind of work better with you, similar to Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball.
My oh my,
Harley.
And that's one thing that beating up your caddy does, is it usually either evens out or makes your composure a bit higher. But yeah, that's Outlaw Golf 9 Holes of Christmas, or Holiday Golf if you have the other version. Merry Christmas to everybody, and if you want to join me in the next video, we'll take a look at 9 more Holes of Christmas on Xbox. I will see you later. Have a great holiday, have a Merry Christmas, have a whatever. Later.
On behalf of myself and the crew, we hope to see you back here real soon. Hey, glad you could join us today. Hope we see you out here again soon.